Hey, I'm Matt with Meat Church. Let's teach you to trim a brisket Texas barbecue style. Welcome back, everybody. We often get asked, show us how you trim a brisket. We don't always put it at the beginning of our brisket cook videos. We've got like almost 24 of those just because of the time that it takes. And we have a brisket trim video that's been on this channel since 2019. Methods evolved. Back then, I used a boning knife. Today, I slice with an actual slicer for various reasons. But what I thought would be interesting, you guys always ask for our guest pitmaster videos. I thought I'd bring in one of my buddies who is on the famous Texas Monthly Top 50 barbecue list, the best of the best in Texas, and he will show you how he does his at the restaurant, which is a great and easy method. So without further ado, I'd like to bring in my buddy Nolan, B4 Barbecue in Maybank.
What's up, brother? How are you?
Good to see you again.
Yes, sir. You
Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So brisket, probably our most favorite thing to cook here in Texas. Mentioned that we've got other trim videos in the past, and I'll tell you that what people have heard from me, they see me trimming a whole bunch, like, oh, you're wasting, you're taking too much fat off, and you're taking too much meat and too much fat. And I've even had some people say the best brisket is a no-trim brisket, which I think is kind of hilarious. I would never do a no-trim brisket. But before we get started, the reason, in my opinion, that we're gonna trim this the way we do is so at a place like yours, once you take the cooked product onto the block, every slice is banging, because you can't afford for a customer to come in and take a bite of any inferior product, or you won't be on that list.
Exactly. So that's what separates craft from, I guess, any other place.
Yeah, agreed. Well, man, I'm just gonna let you jump in. This is a brisket we bought at our local grocery store, and one of the things that I always say is a really cold brisket and a really sharp knife are really gonna help you. One of the things that we did is we threw this in the freezer for just a little bit. You can see it's a little colder than Nolan would probably like it. It's not frozen, but it's definitely pretty cold. And it's summertime here in Texas. We got flies in the outdoor kitchen, but I'm just gonna let you tell us what you do and talk along the way.
Yes, sir. All right, let's get after it. So, I do like to start it at the bottom. You'll have this whole piece right here that's called your decal. I use my hands right here to kind of go ahead and get that loose. And then I'll start right here, just kind of guide that. And then that's that. A lot of guys like us, we make our own tallow. So what that is we're just rendering down all the fat. We use it to cook with. We pour it back over our briskets during the cook process. So this is really good to have. There's not really too much trim in a brisket, in my opinion, because you can do burgers, you can do sausage, and you have your tallow.
Totally. I tell everybody, like, I'm not ashamed to cut this off. Like down here where it's gonna be too thin and that's gonna be overcooked, I'm gonna use that. I'm gonna put it in smashburgers primarily. I use a lot of ground meat and spaghetti and barbecue joints, put it in sausage.
For sure. Is it like at the end of the day, what we're most concerned with is our finished product on our brisket. We can always find a new use for our trim, you know what I mean? So,
for sure.
all right,
Cool.
So we'll get that done, and then we'll just go ahead and start knocking out some of this excess fat right here.
I don't think it's important to trim all the, like, everything to where a competition, this is just red, everything's trimmed off, but a lot of it will render, but if it's excess, I take it off.
Correct. And then I'll go ahead and hit these corners. So my personal opinion, I don't like to have any corners or sharp edges, right? Everything needs to be round, smooth, kind of like from a bird's eye view, you want it to look like an egg, kind of. So go ahead.
That way no corners kind of burn up in the cook process.
Exactly. It gives it more of an even cook. So we rounded that corner off right there. We'll go ahead and do the same thing on this corner right here. Oh, she is cold. Oh, it's all right.
She started to get frozen.
One tip that I will give is it's definitely easier to trim a colder brisket than it is one that's been sitting out a while, because that fat turns into like a marshmallowy mush. And unless you have a super sharp knife, it can get complicated. So.
Yeah, I think it's always great to bring up to people in the summertime, especially because people will go to the store and they'll be outside by their smoker trying to trim it. And if you leave a brisket in a cooler, it's just, I say it's all shifty. Like, it's very hard to trim.
For sure. So now that we got the bottom, how's that look to you?
I love how you call this the bottom. That's the way it is in Texas. Meat side is the bottom since we cook fat side up.
It is. So now we'll go ahead and flip that sucker over. Then right here you have what's going to be called your mohawk. We'll expose it here in a second, but
spin that and show that to everybody. So right in here.
So there's a little bit of that exposed. Sometimes it'll be shifted over here a little bit more, just depends. But pretty much everything underneath here is going to be fat. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this.
I always say keep going. I'm going to talk while you're trimming. I always say definitely a lot of ways to skin a cat when it comes to a brisket. You know, some people shave the mohawk different directions. Some people use boning knives, chef's knives. Dane Weaver's the one that got me using a slicer years ago. I just feel like I can get more done with it, but I just said whatever is most comfortable to people at home and whatever knife they want to use.
I prefer them for sure because it definitely lets you cover more ground white in one trim.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To me, it's not about 100 different cuts. It's how much can I take off in fewer cuts.
So when you are trimming brisket in the restaurant, how long does it normally take you to trim a brisket if you're just like focused and going through them?
We actually did this the other day just to time it. I had a buddy of mine come and he was like, I bet you couldn't do one in 2 minutes. I finished it in 1 minute and 59 seconds.
Wow.
I mean, it wasn't the most amazing. There was probably a little bit extra fat on top, but I didn't dip into it anywhere.
Yeah.
I didn't cut it, so.
You think on average, how many minutes normally when you're not racing?
Probably 5-6 minutes per brisket. So, because we do all of our briskets in one day. So our truck comes Tuesday.
Yeah.
So we do all the briskets for the whole week. So we'll trim out 40, 50 briskets. We'll get them all done. We'll get them all seasoned, and then we just store them in the fridge. And then whenever we cook, we just pull out a certain amount every day.
Love that.
So right now, you want to keep about 1/4 inch of fat across the entire top of the brisket. See right there?
Yeah,
You're
little
getting real
scallops, okay.
close.
Yeah, I always tell people, my opinion is most of the excess fat on the fat side is kind of right here. It's not the entire thing. I mean, I know you took the mohawk off, but right here, you got to get this down to 1/4 inch.
For sure. And right here is going to be real heavy on the fat.
Yeah.
See how smooth that cuts through with it.
So you got that much done.
One cut.
Here, spin that around. We'll give you a little update here since the camera's not behind us. No, it's always a difficult thing here. So we're going to put them in an awkward angle. Nolan can work at an awkward angle so that the folks at home can see this.
I want you guys to learn for sure.
And I love briskets after they're trimmed. They have like a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful shape.
Scalped her a little bit.
Little scalp. Another tip, tell people go slow. You can always take more off. You can't add any back on. Little spots aren't gonna make a huge difference. Another thing, we've actually been talking about this here at Meat Church lately. Some people like to shave down. I started evolving into kind of shaving over the edge, you know, to try to leave some fat on the edge if you have it, because that's just a good protector if you're cooking on an offset or something like that. Whichever direction your heat source is coming from, if you're able to have even a small amount of fat on your ends, it'll help you.
Another thing too I like to do is I like to go by feel. So a lot of people, they just leave that brisket in one spot and they try to work all the way around it. I like to pick this thing up and feel it and look at the sides, and I can see like right here, we didn't even do that, but it's got a natural cut in it, right?
Thanks a lot to the packing company.
Yep. So we can come in here.
I think it's a great tip. I always like to hold on to the brisket and just feel it, because you can tell if there's too much fat. You want to get down to where it's soft, not a lot left, and you're pretty good to go.
For sure.
That's what I like, coming off the edge. That's what I evolved to since my last video.
Yeah, because it helps you round those edges too.
Yeah, I think I used to kind of come down and clean one side up, but then I'm taking off pretty valuable stuff when I did that. However you want to do it to get it done. There's a lot of people in the Meat Church congregation that definitely follow the kind of competition people or content creators who cook meat side up briskets, but maybe you can talk about why you like fat side up brisket.
It's just, man, like I said, I taught myself how to cook during COVID, so I didn't really get to go work at a barbecue place or get any type of tips or tricks.
Yeah.
So I started watching Meat Church videos and then just trial and error, practice every day, you know.
It's kind of cool you said that. You're the third person that has done guest Pitmaster videos this year that said they started by watching Meat Church and are now in the top 50. You, Cooper, and Dane. I didn't know that Cooper had started that way, but Dane, I learned down the road, used to DM me pictures of his brisket when he was just like cooking at home. I didn't know Dane.
Really?
It's really cool. And now I want to learn from y'all.
It's crazy
crazy
where
we're all
the
helping
road
each other.
takes us sometimes.
Yeah.
I used to do the same thing with Brandon Hurtado. I used to hit him up and be like, hey man, how does this look? You know,
Yeah.
So
It's awesome. The barbecue family's real. Everybody helps everybody. For sure. It's got great shape. And when you round those corners down on the flat, it just leaves you with a much thicker flat than like all this, much thicker. You had a really thin, so rounding that out, these will all be, you know, after the first slice, everything will be great after it's cooked.
one thing I've learned too is the more fat you do leave on, the more protection you're giving the meat, you know? So just in case you do forget, you got to run inside and go help your wife with the baby for an hour and you forget the brisket, you know what I mean? That fat protects the meat so you're not charring it up as much.
Yeah,
So.
cool.
And for the most part, I'd say that we're pretty much
Pretty good, huh?
Yeah. Okay, just make sure everything's rounded and come through here and hit all these sharp edges, these corners, make sure everything's smooth.
The difference in like guys like us at home that are cooking this versus Nolan, if you're not doing X amount of briskets a week, you don't get to specify a spec from a food service provider or a ranch. And so you get what you get. When you go to the grocery store, you know, people often ask me like, how do you pick out a brisket? And I'm like, well, I look for the grade, I look for the size. I like to start with 17, 18 pounders so that I can get big, thick flats. And I look for a really good shape, knowing that I'm gonna trim it. I don't want it to be too thin down here. And all that's really important. But, you know, again, if you're one of us, you just gotta go to the store and get what's in the case.
I remember when I started, one of the few things that I learned, I want to say I learned off one of your videos, was the fold test.
Yeah.
So that was like one of the first baby steps of picking out a brisket forward.
A little excess fat there, I bet we're pretty good.
So that's pretty much what I like to have for a finish.
Yeah, let's show that thing off. So it's nice and thick everywhere.
Don't mind the scalp though.
Yeah, well, you know, everybody does that. I still do that. And that's, you know, I think it's a good tip. Like, the slower you go, don't be trying to do it in a minute, 59 seconds. But it's still gonna happen, you know. It doesn't have to be perfect. Man, beautiful.
And that one should cook nice and evenly, you know what I mean? And none of our flats super thin. Even the thinnest part right there is about 1.5 inches. So.
Well, man, I appreciate you coming by to do this.
I appreciate you letting me do it, man.
We have tons of brisket videos on the channel, whether it be, you know, traditional brisket on an offset smoker. We're known for our pellet grill briskets. Our pellet grill brisket videos at over 4 million views the last I checked. We've got pastrami brisket videos, burnt end videos. No matter how you want to cook it, we definitely have videos on it. You need to check out, we did another guest Pitmaster video where I said best side in barbecue, which was Nolan's elote and Texas Twinkie. That video has done really, really well, but you got to go see him. So tell everybody where you're at.
So we're located in Maybank, Texas at 1100 North 3rd Street, which is inside the local Maybank feed store. So pretty cool.
Go see them. It's just about an hour from me. I say it's an hour from the Metroplex, maybe a little further depending on where you're at, but it is a great drive. Visiting his restaurant is a ton of fun. I mean, when you walk in there like barbecue and a feed store, screams Texas. So appreciate you guys being here. Make sure you like and subscribe. Thanks for getting us to over 1 million. It's a ton of fun. We'll see y'all next week.